Hello again. We're doing another podcast from your favorite podcaster, Richard Selesky, and on your favorite podcast site. Politics doesn't have to suck, but it does. We're going to delve into the world of Islam. This will be a respectful and informational investigation into Ramadan. What is Ramadan? And 6 things to know about the Muslim holy month. Again, the goal of this podcast is that you are smarter when you're done with it than you were when you started. And I hope this is something you can take with you to your Muslim friends, to co-workers, and be a better person at the end of the day. Because in the end, diversity and inclusion is the goal everyone should have. Now, we'll be basing this off of a NBC News article written by the Associated Press. But in the end, it's just a fun, informational article that will help you be a smarter person. It is Ramadan right now, and millions of Muslims around the world marked the start of Ramadan recently, a month of intense prayer, dawn to dusk fasting and nightly feasts. Others will begin fasting a day later, on Tuesday, due to a moon sighting methodology that can lead to different countries declaring the start of Ramadan a day or two apart. Here are some questions and answers about Islam's holiest month. And number 1, why do Muslims fast? Now, the fast is intended to bring the faithful closer to God and to remind them of the suffering of those less fortunate. Ramadan is a time to detach from worldly pleasures and focus on one's inner self, who you are on the inside. It's seen as a way to physically and spiritually purify, refraining from habits such as smoking and caffeine. Muslims often donate to charities during the month and feed the hungry. Many spend more time at mosques during Ramadan and use their downtime to recite the Quran. London's new Muslim mayor, Sadiq Khan, wrote in The Guardian that he plans to use Ramadan to build bridges and break bread with Muslims and non-Muslims around the city at synagogues and churches and mosques. Though he acknowledges that 19-hour-long fast during the summer days in Europe and foregoing coffee will be challenging. Fasting during Ramadan is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, along with the Muslim declaration of faith, daily prayer, charity, and performing the Hajj pilgrimage in Mecca. Observant Muslims abstain from eating and drinking from dawn to dusk for the entire month of Ramadan. A single sip of water or puff of a cigarette is enough to invalidate the fast. It is that strict. However, Muslim scholars say it's not enough to just avoid food and drinks during the day. Ramadan is also an exercise in self-restraint. Muslims are encouraged to avoid gossip and arguments. Sexual intercourse between spouses is also forbidden during the daytime fast. Now, I apologize. I don't mean to keep coughing in your ear. Just before the fast, Muslims have a pre-dawn meal of power foods to get them through the day, the suhoor. Egyptians eat mashed fava beans called ful, spiced with cumin and olive oil, while in Lebanon and Syria, popular suhoor food is flatbread with thyme, cheese, or yogurt. In Afghanistan, one of my favorite places on the planet, people eat dates and dumplings stuffed with potato and leeks, first steamed and then fried. When they share it with you, when Afghans share that food with you, it's an honor. The food is so good. Now, how do Muslims break the fast? Now, Muslims traditionally break the fast like the Prophet Muhammad did some 1400 years ago. with a sip of water and some dates at sunset. That first sip of water is the most anticipated moment of the day. I've seen Muslims look forward to that with such enthusiasm. After sunset prayers, a large fast known as iftar is shared with family and friends. Iftar is a social event, as much as it is a gastronomical adventure. Across the Arab world, apricot juices are an iftar staple. In South Asia and Turkey, yogurt-based drinks are popular. Every night at Ramadan, mosques and aid organizations set up tents and tables for the public to have free iftar meals. But large crowds at mosques can also be targets for extremists. As the war with the Taliban intensifies, as the struggles with all the insurgents intensifies, Afghan and U.S. military officials say they expect attacks to increase during Ramadan. Nigerian intelligence officials also say the extremist Boko Haram, that group plans to attack Muslims during the morning and evening prayers. So please, my Muslim friends, be careful. Can one be exempt from fasting? Yes, there are exceptions for children, the elderly, those who are ill, women who are pregnant, nursing and menstruating, and people traveling, which can include athletes during tournaments. Many Muslims, particularly those living in the United States and Europe, are accepting and welcoming of others around them who aren't observing Ramadan. However, non-Muslims or adult Muslims who eat in public during the day can be fined or even jailed in some Mideast countries such as Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, which is home to large Western expat populations in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. In many predominantly Muslim countries like Indonesia, karaoke bars and nightclubs are closed across much of the country for the month. Restaurants there use curtains to conceal customers who eat during the day. I recommend any non-Muslim traveling in the areas, doing business in the areas during this time, be aware of that fact and be respectful to the locals. And in Egypt, the Dar al-Ifta, which is the main authority in charge of issuing religious edicts, warned against eating in public, saying that this is not an act of personal freedom, but chaos, an assault on Islam. Be conscientious. In China, minority Uyghur Muslims complain of heavy restrictions by the Communist Party, such as bans on fasting by party members, civil servants, teachers, students during Ramadan, as well as generally enforced bans on children attending mosques, women wearing veils, and young men growing beards. Typically, some of the traditions are at the start of the month is welcomed with the greeting, and use this freely, my friends, Ramadan Kareem. Another hallmark of Ramadan is nightly prayer at the mosque among Sunni Muslims called Tarawih. Egyptians have the tradition of Ramadan lanterns called fanus, often the centerpiece of an iftar table or seen hanging in the window shops from balconies. In the Arabian Gulf countries, wealthy families hold majlises, where they open their doors for people to pass by all hours of the night for food, tea, coffee, and just conversation. It's an honor to be invited in. Please accept it and enjoy the hospitality of these warm people. Now, increasingly common are Ramadan tents in five-star hotels that offer lavish and pricey, very expensive meals from sunset to sunrise. While Ramadan is a boon for retailers in the Middle East and South Asia, critics say the holy month is increasingly becoming commercialized. Scholars have also been disturbed by the proliferation of evening television shows during Ramadan. In Pakistan, for example, live game shows give away gifts promoting their sponsors. In the Arab world, month-long soap operas starring Egyptians' top actors rake in millions of dollars in advertising. Now, how is the end of Ramadan celebrated? The end of Ramadan is marked by intense worship of Muslims who seek to have their prayers answered during Laylat al-Qadr, or the Night of Destiny. It is on this night, which falls during the last 10 nights of Ramadan that Muslims believe that God sent the angel Gabriel to the Prophet Muhammad and revealed the first verses of the Quran. The end of Ramadan is celebrated by a 3-day holiday called Eid al-Fitr. Children often receive new clothes and gifts and cash. It's a wonderful event to watch. Muslims attend early morning Eid prayers the day after Ramadan. Families usually spend the day at parks and eating and now during the day. I encourage anyone with questions, reach out. And I encourage anyone who has Muslim employees or could have Muslim employees, reach out to us here at Transcontinental University. What are you doing to encourage diversity and inclusion for your Muslim employees? You need to ask yourselves that. Are you being accommodating to those who are not of your faith? We can help. If you're looking to improve your diversity and inclusion, contact me. I'm Richard Selesky. I'm the Chief Solutions Architect at Transcontinental University. We are the only university in the world with a graduate degree dedicated to diversity and inclusion training. Make the month of Ramadan the month you decide to finally have an impactful diversity and inclusion program in your company. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm Richard Selesky. Have a good day.